American sports are bigger than soccer. Yeah, I said it, even the FIFA World Cup. When most Americans hear people say soccer is the biggest sport in the world, the reaction is usually the same. Wait, bigger than the NFL? I mean, look at the numbers. The National Football League alone generates over $20 billion annually, according to Forbes and CNBC estimates. The Super Bowl practically shuts down the entire country. Companies spend nearly $8 million for just 30 seconds of advertising. Television networks throw billions at broadcasting rights. Stadiums sell out constantly. So naturally, a lot of Americans look at soccer and think, there's no way that's bigger than what we've built over here. And honestly, I get it. Sometimes the rest of the world jokes that Americans live in a bubble and think the whole planet revolves around America. But when you look at the money involved, you kind of start understanding why we think that way. Because financially, American sports are absolute monsters. But then you step outside America, and suddenly the picture changes completely. Because while America dominates sports revenue, soccer, yeah, football everywhere else, dominates people. Billions of them. And somewhere between packed football stadiums in Europe, billion-dollar Super Bowl broadcasts in America, and the arrival of Lionel Messi into the United States, a massive business battle is unfolding. A fight for investment, broadcasting rights, sponsors, streaming audiences, global influence, and most importantly, your attention. Inside a packed stadium in America, 70,000 fans rise to their feet as an NFL quarterback launches a deep pass under bright floodlights. The crowd explodes instantly. Beer flies into the air. Television cameras shake trying to capture the moment. Across the country, millions more are watching from living rooms, sports bars, restaurants, casinos, and giant outdoor screens. Because in America, sports are not just entertainment. They are billion-dollar business empires. According to CNBC, Fox, and Forbes estimates, the NFL generates more revenue annually than any sports league on earth. Broadcasting agreements with CBS, Fox, NBC, ESPN, and Amazon are collectively worth over $100 billion over multiple years. And nowhere is that financial power more visible than the Super Bowl. According to Nielsen and Fox Sports reports, recent Super Bowls attracted over 120 million viewers in the United States alone, making them some of the most watched broadcasts in American television history. Advertising reports revealed that companies now pay around $7 to $8 million for a 30-second commercial slot. $8 million for 30 seconds? That means companies are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars per second just to capture attention. And somehow, it works. Because financially, American sports mastered something incredibly powerful: concentration. One country, one massive economy, one extremely valuable advertising market. But thousands of miles away, another sports system is operating at an entirely different scale. In Europe, a UEFA Champions League night transforms entire cities. Restaurants overflow hours before kickoff. Scarves hang from apartment windows. Streets shut down. Train stations filled with supporters chanting through the night. And unlike American football, this is not limited to one country or even one continent. A football match in Europe can shut down entire streets. In South America, victories feel political. In Africa, children grow up wearing jerseys of clubs thousands of miles away. In Asia, millions wake up in the middle of the night just to watch 90 minutes of football. And interestingly, even the name tells a story. Across most of the planet, it is simply called football. But in America, where another sport already claimed that word, it became known as soccer. Two different sporting cultures, two different business empires, one built around domestic dominance, the other around global emotion. No other sport moves globally quite like soccer. According to FIFA, nearly 5 billion people engaged with the 2022 FIFA World Cup across television, streaming, and social media platforms. FIFA also reported that the final between Argentina and France reached approximately 1.5 billion viewers worldwide. For comparison, even the record-breaking Super Bowl audience remains heavily concentrated inside the United States. That difference matters financially because soccer monetizes scale, while American sports monetize value concentration. And the timing of all this is not accidental, because the FIFA World Cup is coming to the United States alongside Canada and Mexico. According to FIFA projections and economic studies, the 2026 World Cup could become the most financially successful football tournament ever, generating billions through tourism, hospitality, sponsorships, streaming, broadcasting rights, and advertising. Hotels will fill, flights will surge, restaurants will overflow, streaming numbers will explode, and millions of Americans who previously ignored soccer may suddenly become emotionally invested in it. Because the World Cup does something unique. It turns casual viewers into fans. But something else has already been changing in America. Slowly. Then suddenly, because the arrival of Lionel Messi into Major League Soccer was not just a football transfer, it was a business event. When Messi joined Inter Miami CF, ticket prices exploded almost immediately. According to Sports Business Reports, some resale tickets increased by over 1,000% within days. Adidas reported huge spikes in jersey sales. Apple reportedly saw major increases in MLS season pass subscriptions after Messi's arrival. And suddenly, America was no longer just watching soccer. It was investing in it. Because investors understand something important. The United States already dominates sports revenue. But if soccer's global emotional power fully connects with America's commercial machine, the financial potential becomes enormous. And investors around the world can already see it happening, which is why sovereign wealth funds, billionaires, hedge funds, and multinational corporations continue pouring money into football clubs globally. Clubs like Real Madrid CF, Manchester United FC, and FC Barcelona are no longer simply sports organizations. They are global media brands, fashion identities, tourism engines, investment vehicles. According to Deloitte's Football Money League reports, some of Europe's biggest clubs now generate revenues exceeding 800 million euros annually through sponsorships, broadcasting, merchandise sales, and match day income. A single preseason tour across Asia or America can generate millions in commercial revenue. Sponsorship deals with airlines, betting companies, banks, and sportswear brands are often worth hundreds of millions over multiple years. Because globally, soccer does not just sell matches, it sells emotional identity. American sports, meanwhile, operate more like highly optimized corporations. Leagues such as the NFL use salary caps, revenue sharing, franchise protections, and closed league systems to maximize financial efficiency and investor stability. Teams rarely face financial collapse from poor performance because relegation does not exist. Financially, it is controlled, predictable, efficient, and investors love predictable systems. Soccer works differently, and that difference creates both opportunity and chaos. A football club can rise rapidly through success and collapse just as quickly through failure. Qualification for the Champions League can generate tens of millions in additional revenue. Relegation can wipe out enormous portions of income almost overnight. According to financial studies involving Premier League clubs, relegated teams can lose over £100 million in projected reductions depending on sponsorship reductions and broadcasting losses. That instability creates pressure, but it also creates drama, and drama drives attention. A small club defeating a giant, an underdog surviving against impossible odds, a historic club collapsing financially after years of poor decisions, entire cities emotionally rising and falling depending on results every weekend. No entertainment executive could consistently script stories this emotional, and globally, billions keep watching because unpredictability itself has become valuable. The National Basketball Association exists somewhere between both worlds. Financially powerful like American sports, but increasingly global like soccer. According to NBA International reports, basketball's growth across Africa, Europe, China, and the Middle East has accelerated rapidly through streaming platforms, social media, and player branding. Athletes themselves have become multinational businesses. But even then, soccer still operates differently because no sport currently combines worldwide participation, emotional identity, geographic spread, and generational loyalty at the same scale. And the money attached to that scale continues growing. Broadcasting rights, streaming subscriptions, sports betting, tourism, merchandise, gaming, advertising, fashion, social media, even geopolitics. Countries now invest heavily into sports because sports influence perception globally. Saudi Arabia investing billions into football, Qatar hosting the FIFA World Cup, the United States preparing to host the 2026 tournament alongside Canada and Mexico. These are not simply sports decisions. They are economic strategies, influence strategies, global branding strategies. Because sports no longer exist only inside stadiums. They exist inside culture, and culture is profitable. Late at night, stadium lights begin shutting down across different parts of the world. In America, NFL fans leave billion-dollar arenas after another nationally televised game. In Europe, supporters continue singing outside football stadiums long after the final whistle. Somewhere in Africa, children are still playing football under streetlights using improvised goalposts. In Asia, millions refresh transfer news on their phones before sleeping. Different systems, different audiences, different business models, but one shared reality. Sports has become one of the largest financial ecosystems on Earth. And whether it is American sports dominating revenue efficiency or soccer dominating global emotion, the business keeps growing. Because in modern entertainment, the most valuable thing is no longer just trophies or championships. It is attention. And no industry fights harder for global attention than sports. If you enjoyed this cinematic financial storyboard and want more stories breaking down sports business, investing, economics, global industries, and the financial systems shaping the modern world, subscribe and stay with us. Because sometimes the biggest competition in sports is not happening on the field. It is happening in business.